Thank You, Mrs. J by Raeesah Jadwat. Mrs. J, a grade art teacher, had a very big announcement for her class. Over the weekend, she had spoken to Mrs. Lee, who is one of the managers at the Botanical Gardens, who had agreed to host a birthday party for free at the Botanical Gardens to one lucky student that draws the best picture of a garden, trees, or even flowers, which will be displayed on Arbor Day at the gardens in 1 month's time. Mrs. J instructed her learners to start drawing and wished them good luck. Mrs. J then called one of her students, Leah, to her desk. She then told Leah that she hoped to see her name on the entry list, as she knows how much Leah loves flowers and nature. Leah frowned, as she does not have a big imagination and is horrific in drawing. Mrs. J then reassured Leah to not be hard on herself and do the best she can. Later that morning, Mrs. J took her learners to Mitchell's Park to get some inspiration by viewing the trees and flowers. They walked around, drew some pictures, and went back to school. Later that day, after supper, Leah laid out her drawings from Mitchell's Park and laid out all her art materials. After staring at them for a while, she picked up her pencil and began drawing. The next day, Leah headed straight to the office to show her teacher what she had done so far. "Amazing," said her teacher. Later that day, Mrs. J decided to take her learners to Botanical Gardens so they can learn more about the flowers and trees they are drawing. They walked to each tree and were given a little history about them. "This tree has been here for over 200 years," says Mrs. Penny, one of the guides there. The learners were intrigued. That night, Leah sat down again with her pictures and art materials and began drawing. Weeks flew by, and it was already the final day of the competition. Mrs. J checked all her drawings. "Wow, students, you did an amazing job," she said. "And the winner of the best drawing goes to Abdullah." Abdullah's picture had stood out the most, and for that he will get to have a free birthday party with his family and friends at the Botanical Gardens. Leah was disappointed. She thought to herself, how could she ever win? But then Mrs. J had another announcement to make. She wanted to give another prize from her side to the learner who came out of a comfort zone and tried, and this went to Leah. Mrs. J and Leah walked alongside the pathways of the Botanical Gardens eating ice cream. Leah stopped, opened her bag, and pulled out a drawing from Mrs. J.